Hey guys, so it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. Sorry about that. I don't really have an excuse because it's more so due to my, I guess, ineptitude for doing these sorts of things spontaneously. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like doing spontaneous things, but when it comes to, I guess, vlogging, that's not one of them. Go figure. So, guess that's my reason. I'm gonna try and be better about it. Especially because I follow a lot of people who do like studio vlogs and things like that, and I think that's a really cool idea to help motivate people, because I know it helps motivate me. It gives me a lot of inspiration seeing these people work on their art, and it's part of the reason why I was like, hey, I haven't done one of these in a while. Oh, how long has it been? Anyway, so I want to try and start doing that just because I think it's a really good way to share the creative process. And I kind of already do that with my speed drawings, like my time lapse stuff that I post on my other channel. Those are different though, because that's not voiced over. I mean, not to say that a lot of like studio vlogs are voiced over or anything like that, but like it's a sped up drawing. You don't really see the entire process behind it because it's so fast. Like my most recent one that I posted, I had to speed it up like 16 times and it was still 22 minutes long. But so you don't really get the full effect of time lapse when it's like that. With the studio vlog, I'd be able, it would still have to be shorter, but you would be able to kind of see the, like the movement behind it a little bit better, I think, hopefully. So that's what I want to try and do. And hopefully, when I start live streaming, that'll help as well, digitally wise, because that way you'll be able to see the digital process a little bit easier. So that's that. With the studio vlogs, obviously it'll be more traditional stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. As far as what's on the agenda, I need to go be an adult and get my oil changed. I need to go to the store because we're out of creamer and eggs. So that's that. And then when I come home, I think I'm gonna bust out my watercolors, because there's two paintings that I have been working on. I say working on, it's been a while since I've worked on them, but they are long overdue, so I think it's time that I try to finally finish them. One of them is technically a part of a series that I want to do for friends' tabletop characters, and it also it's doubling as a birthday present, so that's overdue. And then the other one is a not two piece, but it's a birthday present for two people. Half of one is what's really overdue, so yeah. I'm not very skilled at watercolor, so we will see. I think that's part of the reason, because I got scared working on one of them. And I was like, wow, this isn't really turning out how I envisioned. Because you'll see, a lot of the colors are like super muted and stuff, so it's just something that I gotta work on. So, that's the plan. And I will see you guys on the other side.
Lights out, lying in your arms, and these feelings start to change. One look into
said I was going to work on watercolor, which I am. However, it's been a while since I actually looked at what it was actually I was watercoloring. Just so you all know, I am using the Canson watercolor. It's a spiral bound book. I know I want to try the Arches watercolor pads, but they're just so expensive. This Canson watercolor book is 140 pounds, and it's cold press, which I've heard is some of the better, like cold press is better for watercolor just because of the grains. So anyway, I went back and looked at what it was that I was originally doing gift-wise for a friend's birthday, and when I look at it now, I'm really seeing, like, anatomy-wise, it's not bad. There are a couple of things that I want to fix, like in the face and like the legs, and just a couple of things, I say. But also, like, a bunch of the color is really muted, and I recently watched a video on watercolor about how if you happen to mix like 3 or more colors together, it'll turn out like really muddy, which is kind of the result of this. And this was before I was really like comfortable using watercolors, like it was going to be like my first big project. And I was trying to go for a more stormy look, but instead it just turned out with like this mossy brown and green, and that's not the character at all that I was trying to portray. So I'm going to come back to this later. Yeah. Hopefully it'll turn out better. But now, what I'm working on now, you'll see, is it's a combined birthday present from my mom and stepdad. So I sketched it out prior, like beforehand, and now I am going to do watercolor. I made a palette. The watercolor palette I am using is the Winsor & Newton 12 color pack. I've used it quite a bit already, just for funsies, like nothing too like serious. So I went ahead a couple of weeks ago and I made like a swatch palette on the Canson paper. It was mostly scrap paper that I had been using. I was really in the mood to draw lemons for some reason, so that's kind of what started this. So I went ahead and just did like 5 different variations of all of the colors to try and figure out what they look like on this paper at different saturations. And I should have done that in the first place before starting that other one. I just don't know what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, this is a great project. You know. So I'm going to use this as reference. This is not typically my forte, what I am currently drawing. I already have it sketched out, but my parents are a part of a club known as Wicked Jeeps of Southeast Michigan, and so I am drawing their 2 Jeeps, my mom's and my stepdad Steve's. So this is not normally what I draw. It is a gift, so please forgive me for my ignorance. Let's get to it. is a little bit more red pink than I'd like. So I might need to go over it in like colored pencils, see how it turns out, because I'm afraid to add more blue, because the last time I did that, it turned into like this really like deep violet. And so this is like with minimal amounts of blue, and it's just so magenta, and his Jeep is not magenta. It's like I can't think of the color right now, it's too late. It's like a purplish red. The name will come to me later.